light-skinned women were
more
really
desirable.
kind of like, were considered more desirable. Then if you look at some of like these ball players now, right, and these NBA players, right, they bolstered the Kim Kardashian look. And if you start looking at these guys, you're like, oh wow,
now they're
all dating some version of a Kardashian, so to speak.
Ambiguity,
racially
ambiguous race,
the dark hair or whatever.
It's the same look.
And so you realize that the power of influence, because I'll get to like from some of my, my good friends, like almost like it's personal, like, well, why didn't you date a dark skin or marry a dark skin woman? It's like, wow, you start trying to unpack that and it's just like, wow, like, it's no different than why do you want to wear those shoes that are in style, or why do you want to wear this fashion?
I always say it's not the preference that's the problem, it's the reason for the preference. Yeah.
It's not the preference that's the
issue. It's the reason for the preference.
And there is like fetishization, there is self-hatred, there is like, and you don't want to call anybody out, but I look at, there's a joke I do where I said, wow, the NBA is so light-skinned now. That's why it's whack. I said, there's not enough dark dudes anymore, because there was Jordan, we had Xavier McDaniel, Clyde the Glide Drexler.
Hakeem, all of them.
That's why not a lot of guys don't go to the middle no more, because light-skinned dudes bruise easy. So there's nobody, that's why there's a lot of three-pointers. Other than Steph Curry, who's light, but he's from black parents. Think about everybody shooting threes. It's very light-skinned. There's a lot of broccoli-headed, Drake-looking
Not broccoli-headed.
You know the broccoli-head style where they got the...
my son wears his hair the same way.
And I said, I think, and this is me because I'm a crazy comic, but I said, I think there were a lot of insecure dark-skinned dudes in the 80s and 70s, and they said, I don't want my kids to suffer what I suffered, so they would get with white women or whatever. Now you have a very light-skinned NBA now.
Fair, and you got to think about the times as well, because like you said, in the 80s,
NBA stand for not black at all.
Wait, what?
No, he just...
I actually believed you.
Can you believe it's called not black at all?
No, seriously, when you think about, society and the way we just kind of project a certain standard or image of beauty, it definitely affects how you view yourself. You know what I mean?
And everybody falls to it, because it goes beyond, but it also speaks to this power of it. Like I find little things, like when I'm watching, I love like watching the guys come out of the tunnel for football games or coming off the plane or whatever. And you'll notice the sign of success is you got to have a Louis bag, you got to have a Louis belt, you got to have a Gucci something. Right? There's a particular way that you have to dress to show that I've made it. I'm a ball player. I'm like, where did this come from? It was an influence that just said, and so when you bring that over into race and think about how that was marketed, I'm going, oh wow, like, and I've dated women from all different shades, but when I think about that, I'm like, wow, so much of how I dated, so much of what I saw was based on the influence of what the standard of beauty was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I used to be I remember in college, my first girlfriend, she liked me or whatever. And there was a guy, another light-skinned guy, was like, why does she like you? I go, why not? Because I was dark.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Like, but I'm better looking than you, dude. Right. I mean,
not better.
But no, but there's
that's
better
what you
looking,
said?
There's dark. Yeah, I said better looking than you.
Cool.
Your teeth are not as nice as mine. My skin's better than you. But that to say as a dark person, say you're better looking than a light skinned person, like what? And they could be ugly.
Problematic.
It's if you see a pretty dark skinned girl, it's like, and then opposites do attract. That's fact. Because there's light women that like dark men.
Yeah.
And they're black women. They just go, I like dark men.
I feel like we just also have to be careful with, when it comes to our kids as well, because our children important. Are always absorbing all this type of information. Like we had a part in a moment in our documentary where the little girl in the documentary was talking about the fact that the dark skin, I can't remember anymore, but something to do with dark skin in the documentary. And she was like, how that's not beautiful. And the light skin or the white thing, whatever we use, I can't remember the experiment anymore, was more desirable, more beautiful. And she was a dark skinned girl. She couldn't even understand why she felt that way.
Were they doing any of the doll experiments? The doll experiment?
Yeah, we had something similar to that, but it wasn't quite that.
There was one experiment, it's famous. It's now, I love it because it pops up on social media. And they show these dolls, these faces, and they go to the darkest, and white kids, black kids, like, who's the meanest?
Right.
And they go, point to the dark.
Right.
Who's the smartest? Point to the white. And it's not true.
It's happening
all white,
everywhere.
It's all news, white, European, colonial. That it's in Asia. It's in Asia. It's India. What?
Oh,
it's in India. All brown countries have that. Even their advertisement is nothing but light people, and then there's dark country.
How has that impacted you with dating? Like, has your preference changed because of what's the standard for beauty? Like, because I've often, when I'm speaking as a man, but how has that impacted you, and what's your dating life now?
I kind of gravitate towards dark skinned men. I do like dark men. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Has it influenced?
Yeah. And what's your dating? What's your dating life like now? Let's put it out there.
I'm gonna be so honest. Yeah. I avoid this question like the plague, and I always do. I've done
Not
this
here at 154.
Like, I'll tell you why. Because I will never forget one time that I answered something similar, and the headline. I literally talked about my career the entire interview, but my dating life became the headline. Right. Ever since then, I was like, I ain't talking about my dating life. You know what I mean? It's just a disaster.
Right.
You know, I literally talked about so much, and then the headline was why I'm not married, or why I'm dating this person.
You got to do that to get some eyes on it.
But do you think that's particular to women? Because I feel like with women, it's like, the pressure is, the pressure is like, well, why aren't you dating? Or who are you dating? Or why don't you date? It becomes more or less about, why aren't you is like kind of the question,
Yeah. But the thing is, it traumatized me because this was very early on in my career.
Wow. So
I'm just like, how am I talking about, excited to talk about this movement, what I'm doing in life. And then the focus is my dating life. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, it just felt I just found it degrading, man. You know what I mean? So I was just like, nah.
I appreciate that. I wanted to get back to pay. Yeah. Because pay in Hollywood, a lot different than pay in Nollywood. What's the pay like in Hollywood? Obviously, I know you...
In Nollywood?
In Nollywood.
It's not great.
It's not great. What needs to happen to change that? And because you start thinking about Nigeria... I
ain't gonna lie to you, there's no point.
No. And I love this.
Here's some plantain, here's some fufu. Action.
I love this because...
Not that bad.
We got chin is your pay. Take a couple of those.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Oil, natural gas, and entertainment is massive. And obviously the natural resources in the earth.
Yeah.
What, to me, just seems like the next big thing is to invest in building up Nollywood even more and the infrastructure, because the stars like yourself that are coming out of Nollywood, and you see the investment even in Africa, like you think about Netflix and its investment into Nollywood, like to see Nollywood films pop up on Netflix, I was like, oh shoot, like that was a big statement,
definitely.
To where you understand that there's a massive appetite for something different, something new, something refreshing. Yeah. And it's an introduction, especially to the Western side. What is the, I don't even know, the entertainment officials, the government, what needs to happen to get Nollywood to that place where you're getting actors who are making a lot of money over there?
I just feel like there needs to be a belief in what's being built. First and foremost, I feel like the government they're not convinced, or they just don't care. One of the two, you know what I mean? And I feel like, that infrastructure needs to be in place as well. I feel like right now there's a lot of just figuring it out, but I feel like we need to have that in place in order to build an industry that's just thriving beyond local content, It definitely needs funding. Nollywood is so underfunded, and with when you consider what we're able to create on with just such little funds, you can only imagine what would happen if the industry received the type of funding that it deserves. But then the government just isn't supporting it. There's also that.
Yeah, I was
that's a big thing. The government's not supporting it. Yeah,
Nigeria has been plagued with a corrupt government. I mean, they're MAGA.
Yeah.
The guy's MAGA. The president of Nigeria is MAGA, which is insane. But
I'm even talking about the Nigerian government, by the way.
Nigerian government. Yeah. It's because people do things under the Nigerian government. They just go, we don't worry about them.
Yeah.
A perfect example is our soccer team. We have some of the most talented soccer players, and they all go to Europe because they won't pay the Nigerian soccer players.
Right.
No better time than now to drop the new jersey right here at the World Cup. 154 jersey, go get it.
Bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home.